Today we're here with Daisy. How are you? How are you feeling
Oh,
today?
very good, thank you.
Good, good, good. Now, Melody, you had a couple conversations earlier, so I wanted you to
Yeah.
get the inside scoop of what you guys were talking about.
Exactly. Because Daisy, tell me about what you used to do here. I know you're retired, but tell us about what you used to do here.
I used to be with the Downtown Development Board, which is part of the City of Orlando. I was with the Downtown Development Board from 1982, and I retired in 2005. So,
Well, congratulations on your retirement. I know you're enjoying it. You're looking fabulous.
so much, and I live downtown still, so I practice what I used to preach. I used to really encourage people to come downtown, revitalize downtown, and so forth. And I'm so glad to see this whole art scene in downtown.
Yeah, the art scene is really flourishing. And tell me, since you pretty much helped to do that, help the visibility that Jim was talking about, what was it like when you started?
Well, it wasn't much of an art scene in downtown way back in those days. In fact, I was involved in the first Light Up Orlando, which is a big festival to try to bring people back to downtown. So we started small and we took little baby steps and so forth. But downtown has grown and we got now people living, working, and playing downtown, which is what we always wanted to see downtown.
I'm interested too, Daisy, to hear. I know you probably seen a lot of history or heard a lot of history of Orlando and how was it like not even 10 years ago, maybe 20, 30 years ago, the downtown area in comparison to what it is today.
Well, this Orange Avenue here, I mean, it's traditionally was always the main street for downtown.
Okay.
But, during the 60s and 70s, we really went downhill to the point that, we lost a lot of businesses. We used to have movie theater, department stores even downtown, but they all left us, into the suburb and so on. So, downtown really struggled. But I think we're fortunate here in Orlando that we had enough civic leaders who really thought the downtown is really important. And they created this special tax district in downtown. And, we brought downtown back to life. And I'm really glad to see that Downtown Development Board and especially the city leaders are still very big on downtown because every city really needs to have a strong heart, and downtown is the heart.
Definitely. And we're seeing that now. A lot of people that come to Orlando don't really realize we have a downtown. They're like, oh,
That's
the Disney or Kissimmee area. And then they come to Orlando, like mainland Orlando, and they don't really understand or know. And I think it's interesting that you say that. Like before, it used to be the hub of Orlando, and then it kind of transitioned from that. So.
Traditionally, it was always the center of this whole Central Florida, and now it is again, which I'm so happy to see.
Absolutely. Now, how do you feel about the whole new Amway Center and how that's bringing all the commerce and everything back to Orlando?
Well, hopefully the NBA stuff is going to start going again because,
Whole nother story.
I know that is a whole nother story, but it's really good to have the arena closer to the heart of downtown. I think that's really going to help the whole Church Street, the corridor, and connect to Orange Avenue. But it will really be good if we have the NBA season start again.
Since the new arena has kind of opened up, and you see a lot of new restaurants opening up, a lot of commerce coming around here. So it's very, very interesting seeing.
That's awesome because I'm a new kid in town, so.
Three major venues in downtown that Mayor Dyer's really been talking about. One is to do the arena, which he built already, and of course the Performing Arts Center downtown is, it's already broken ground, so that's under construction. And the third one is the Citrus Bowl. So when we get all those, pieces of the puzzle in place, downtown really is going to be an amazing place.
Absolutely. And I just realized this now, but like the Orlando History Center and a lot of these other places downtown have a lot of like historic, like antique stuff of what Orlando used to look like.
Right.
And do you know of any other information and stuff that people can kind of tap into that history?
Well, the History Center where it is today, it used to be the courthouse building.
Oh.
It's actually a very creative, what we call adaptive reuse of an old building.
Right.
History Center used to be in the Lock Haven Park, but we renovated the History Center to become the courthouse to become the History Center. Of course, it is now. It's right in the heart of downtown, next to the library and so on. So again, it's good to have that kind of arts and cultural uses in downtown, in addition to what's happening Third Thursday, which I think is terrific.
Yeah, see, and every third Thursday we talk about, supporting local artists and what that means,
That's
because people from other cities, they have a huge, following and understanding of what local Orlando, like local talent, you know,
That's
and
right.
and we're slowly growing to that point, which I think is really really awesome.
really is.
You know, I think I've heard someone say we are on the cusp of like a new era or a new
Like-
precipice
Yeah.
of arts in Orlando,
That's
which I think
right.
is awesome.
That's right, and especially with that important transit component coming, you know, the Sunrail
The Sunrail,
is coming
yeah.
online, expansion of limo project that we talked about, you know, all that is setting a very important infrastructure in downtown to bring all the other components we want.
Right, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Daisy, for sharing information and just showing what Orlando really is, you know, and how we keep Orlando awesome.
Awesome.
And how Orlando has always been
It
awesome.
gets better and better.
I like that. I like that. It's a little added addition right there.